What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to A Day with D. I wasn't gonna record my day today, but I have 3 lock appointments, so I thought it would be cool to record all of my clients and their locks and what I do, the retwist, and the style I do afterwards. So it should be an exciting day. My first client, he has a man bun and we're gonna do a retwist and 2-strand twists. My second client, we're starting his locks for the first time and he wants them a little bit smaller, so I'm gonna do some medium sized, but I'm also gonna put them in 2-strand twists. And then my last client, I started his locks last week and I put them into lobster braids, so I'm hoping we just have to do the lobster braids again. We're gonna do some locks. We're gonna go to the hair supply stores. I did braid my hair this morning. I asked y'all on Instagram, hey, 2 feet in braids or 2 buns? And when I looked, the braids had 1. Secured the first package. I'm gonna go to the other beauty supply store. I just need to get rubber bands. Actually, let me look real quick. I'll check my appointment book and see if I have any colorful braids that I have to do this week, because if so, then I'll get extra color for anything like that. Yeah, I got locks, I got perm, braids, color, haircut braids, color. Yeah, I do not. We are good. From beauty supply number 2, I got hella rubber bands. I made sure they were good. The rubber bands that I had gotten last week were trash. I just got out of the 3rd beauty supply store. I'm gonna show y'all what I got because I didn't show y'all in the store. Got some color eraser, 1N, 6AA, and a 4AA for a client that I'm going to be doing that has a lot of warmth. And I'm thinking I'm gonna mix those 2 together for her. Right here next to the shop, we're gonna get a little donut shop, and it's literally like right next door. There's a salon, that's where I work, and then here is the donut shop. Here's my first client. Here are his before clips. I did include some of those. I asked him, I was like, how are your dreads so nice? And he said he had them in 2-strand twists. And I was like, ah, okay. When you have them in 2-strand twists, that just helps the locks stay locked, because the new growth is locked, but then you twist it. It's I don't know how to explain it without actually showing you, and obviously watch it. But whenever you do 2-strand twists on top of locks, that twists it and keeps it twisted, and that allows the style to stay so neat. So honestly, one of my favorite go-to styles for locks is 2-strand twists, because you can go so long with the 2-strand twists in place, and it just helps the locks stay as neat as possible the whole time. And obviously you can take them out and your hair will still be locked. So I just love this style for locks. I'm pretty much just gonna let y'all watch because it's very repetitive. I just split it. I use Shine and Jam. I just part the hair with Shine and Jam. I try to get all of the hair in that dread, into that dread when I lock it. If there's hair from another dread in that dread, because sometimes that happens, you know, like the hair is growing, obviously they have new hair coming in. So sometimes hair will go into other locks. So you just want to split that. And I always clip it on the top, clip it at the bottom. That just ensures that the lock stays locked as best as it can. And I do apologize because in some clips my shoulder's in the way, so you can't see it that well, but most of them you can see pretty good. And once I finished all of his locks, I did do 2-strand twists, so y'all will see me do that at the end once we're done with the style. Yeah, I'll let y'all just watch because, like I said, it's pretty repetitive, so you guys can just watch me do it. I also really like this comb for my locks or for my retwists, because since the teeth are so close together, you guys can notice on one side they're a little bit farther apart, but on this side that I'm using them, the teeth are really close together and really small. That allows me to get any little hairs, brush and slick down all of those little hairs into the lock, into the retwist. Here is the front done, the back done. Well, one of the sides isn't done yet. I still had the left side to do, but this comb is great because it allows you to get any little hairs and slick those down into the retwist. And then here's a clip of all of his locks done. And then, like I said, after that we did his 2-strand twists. So I did put, I can't remember if I put foam or not. Sometimes you just want to ask your clients if they prefer foam or if they don't really like foam. I personally always use foam because it smooths the scalp, conditions their scalp and their hair, and so I always use it. So I think I used it, but since I don't see any residue, I might have not used it. So yeah, the 2-strand twist, I just unclip them. You guys can see they're locked. Like if he were to walk outside today, he could wear his locks, but he did want to do a protective style on top of that, so we did 2-strand twists, and his locks are so thick and so nice. Like he has some good hair. Yeah, I'm just twisting them together. I don't know if this is going to make sense, but I'll still try to explain. So when I do the locks, I twist them clockwise. But then when you do the 2-strand twists, you do it opposite. So you'll grab the 2 twists, you grab the right one and put it over the left one. And that's how you do the 2-strand twist. So it's kind of opposite that way. Since it's opposite, it like allows it to stay together and hold together, versus if you do it the other way, it's not going to last. Hope that makes sense. If not, just try to watch me and hopefully you can get it from watching me. But yeah, twists are so cool because literally you just take the clips out, the hair is good to go, it's locked. And then of course, always make sure your clients know to oil their scalp at least once a week. If their scalps are more drying, 2 times a week would be good. Also, wear your do-rag every single night. Do not get your locks wet. That's one of the biggest things. For example, his locks are obviously good to go. He's been wearing them a while, like they're good. So if he wet them, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But if you have somebody that's starting their locks, tell them do not wet your hair for the first 4 to 6 weeks. The reason for that is just because if your hair gets wet, then your curls will come back and the lock will undo. Here is his style done. Nice and thick, nice, crispy, defined lines. He has some very good hair. Okay, second client, I told you we were gonna start his locks. So whenever I start locks, I always do a comb twist. And my camera also is dead by this point. I think I did record a little bit of locking his hair. Oh, here's the clip. But after this clip, I didn't get any. So what I do the comb twist first, and he wanted them kind of small, and his hair was kind of short. So like the bottom of his neck, I would hold him. I was like, these might need to be locked again. They might undo because they're so short. But after I do the comb twist, then I went in and did the 2-strand twists. That way they were already done, versus like my first guy, I did his new growth first, and then I went in and did the 2-strand twists. For him, I just went ahead and did them because his hair was so short. It was just going to be easier if I went ahead and did it. Also, by this point, I was already behind on my schedule because, for one, when he sent me a picture of his hair, I only thought he had a man bun. I didn't know he had a whole mohawk going down, so it took me twice as long to do his hair as I had originally planned. I had to push back my 3rd appointment, and I also had another appointment that I accidentally double booked at the same time, so I had to tell him to come back at the end of the day. So clearly this day was completely messed up. And back to his locks though. They looked so good. He actually took them out like a week later, which makes me kind of sad, but they look so good. I'm really happy with the outcome. I don't know if he liked the style. He was growing his hair out to do them, but he looked so good with them. I don't understand why he took them out, but yeah, that's my second guy. He could not stop looking at himself because he knew he looked good. Like, look at him. He knows he looks good. Okay, but then after I did him, so I did my 3rd guy. Of course, I did him a little bit later because I was running behind on my time. So here's me doing him, and look, his hair, he's a fro too. So he didn't have locks anymore. Remember I told you I had locked his hair for the first time last week? Well, no more locks. So back to braids, which is fine with me because I kind of figured. I told him, I was like, locks are very different than braids. You're not going to get that clean, crispy look that braids give you. Like, you know, the new growth of locks is going to be a little bit different, which I explained all that to him, and he still wanted to do the locks, which is fine. So I think we did his typical 4 braids that we do. If I'm ever unsure about the middle part, I always turn him towards the mirror and use the end of my rat tail comb just to make sure that's in the center of their head or the center of their face, you know? So here I'm just parting it. Parting are so important. If y'all don't do nice, clean parts when you do braids, then start doing them, because that makes a game changer of a difference whenever it comes to the final outcome of the braid style. And so here I am brushing because you see my next client, the purple, he was the one that's sitting over there. He was the one that came. I accidentally double booked myself, and it was just a very crazy day. Like, usually I'm done by 5, and I think I ended up working until 7 because my second guy took me way longer than what I thought. And then I had to do his braids, which I originally wasn't planning on doing my third client braids, the ones I'm doing now. And then of course that guy that it's waiting, I still have to do him. So if it looks like I'm rushing, I probably am. But it just be like that. Doing hair is one of those things where like you don't know what you're gonna get, especially when you're doing new people, and that's why I always ask for pictures. But sometimes even the pictures don't do justice, you know, like I had a picture of my second guy. Clearly I didn't think his back was long, but you know, it just be like that. So I didn't even get an after picture or video of doing his hair, but I think this is actually the first time we ever colored his beard too, because you guys can see his beard looks a little dark. We recently started coloring his beard, so that's cool too. He doesn't have that much gray, but he just has a little bit that he wanted to start coloring, so that's why his beard looks super dark. So then I finished him, and here is my last client of the day. I apologized to him because I felt so bad. I was like, I'm so sorry that I double booked myself, but it's because him and my second client had the same name, and so when they were messaging me I thought it was the same person, and so that's what happened. And his hair was kind of short too, but, and honestly, like I asked him, because this is the second time I do his hair, I asked him, I was like, how well did the first time last? Because the first time was obviously shorter, and he was like, oh, they still last, they lasted me like I can't remember, 2 or 3 weeks. And I was like, oh, that's good, because with short hair I always wonder like, how long does it last? But I know my braids are good and I know they last. So here's just me braiding his hair. I think I only recorded one clip too of doing him. My day today was freaking crazy. Let me tell you what happened. So I double booked myself. So at 1:30 I had 2 different appointments. One for locks, and then another guy I had him scheduled for braids. And I was like, what the heck, right? Like, I haven't double booked myself in a very long time, so I was very confused. And so after I finished my first guy, but I went and talked to the other guy, and I was like, hey, I don't have you scheduled. Can you show me the messages? And so when we looked on the messages, realized that they both have Sean as their name. So I don't know, it was just crazy. So anyways, I told my first guy, Sean, the one I did the locks on, I was like, okay, we'll start you. And I told Sean, the other guy for braids, I was like, can you come at 3:30? So he came back later, but my second appointment, it ended up being long all the way down. He had a mohawk, and in the picture he sent me, I could only see the top. So I thought the top was the only thing that I was gonna lock. So he comes in, has it long all the way down, and so I was like, if I would have known, I would have booked him for longer, because now it's gonna take me double the time I originally thought. So I went ahead and texted my 3:30, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna be like 4 o'clock before I'm ready for you. And he was like, okay, that's fine, you know. The second guy, his locks turned out super good. His hair was really short, but they still looked really good. The only thing I'm thinking, maybe the ones that are like at the bottom, maybe those are gonna need to be locked again soon, but it's just because the hair is so short. But anyways, my third guy, remember I did locks on him last week, and so we were gonna probably just do the braids over. And now his hair was natural, curly. He took out the locks. He had no more locks. So we did just 4 regular straight back braids on him, which is usually what we do. That's his go-to. But we colored his beard too. He had never colored it, so we did that. That was something new. Then I finished my braid guy, rinsed his beard out, and then I started my next guy, and it was like 5 o'clock when I started my last guy. So thankfully I was even gonna post on Instagram too. I was gonna post, hey, I have an opening today at 3:30 if anybody wants in, and thank God I did not post that, because if somebody would have messaged me, ooh, I would have been like, nah, bro, I can't do you, sorry. But anyways, that was my crazy day. I was not expecting that. But it's 7 o'clock right now. I usually leave work at 5:30, and I do some errands, and then I come to the gym. But I just came straight to the gym because they close at 8. It was a crazy day at work today. I need to eat because I haven't ate anything. Okay, and I was even thinking too, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna eat breakfast because I ate a lot yesterday. So I was like, if I skip breakfast, that'll even me out. But I'm glad I didn't skip breakfast, because I literally would have not ate all day. But instead, I ate at 9 a.m. and now I'm gonna eat at 7 p.m. So much better. But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all go so I can go work out. I'm gonna go work out, probably do some errands, and that's probably gonna be it for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Decided I needed to eat before I worked out because I literally had no energy. So here's me eating my 5-star meal. Ate some snacks, let's go work out. But yeah, now I'm gonna end the vlog. So hope y'all enjoyed. Bye.